Boiron made $500 million last year. They're a 9-figure brand, yet their SEO is just garbage. And in this video, I'm going to show you the SEO strategy that I would use to add millions in revenue to Boiron. And this is going to be an interesting video because it's not going to be like the other deep dives, because Boiron is kind of in a unique situation that doesn't apply to most e-commerce brands. So I hope you can watch this video from start to finish, because no matter what, there's something you can learn from this. And maybe your e-commerce brand is in the same situation and you can kind of apply the same strategies to your brand. If you can't watch a video about SEO from start to finish, then SEO is probably not for you, because SEO requires patience. If you don't know who I am, I'm Miko Martinez. I've been in the SEO industry for over 6 years now. I've worked on over 200 projects, and I've helped scale some of them to over 7 figures in annual revenue. Okay, so let's get to the video. So Boiron, what does their current SEO look like? So interestingly enough, like, they actually got hit by a penalty, I think, at the end of 2023, and their SEO was completely dead until Q3 last year, where it recovered, and it looks like it's doing decently well. I don't know if they have an SEO in-house or if they're working with an SEO agency, but considering that this is a 9-figure brand, again, they made $500 million in revenue last year, this is nothing compared to what they should be doing, right? If you look at their rankings, I already sorted this from positions 4 to 20, because those are the low-hanging fruit. If you look at the keywords that are ranking from 4 to 20, there are a lot of products that are their products. They should be ranking number 1 for these products. There's no reason for them not to be ranking number 1 for these products. And they're being outranked by other large e-commerce brands like Amazon, CVS, Walgreens, etc., which doesn't make sense, right? Because these brands, yes, they're large e-commerce brands, but they are not exactly the experts on homeopathic medicines. Boiron is, and therefore they should be ranking. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly why they're not ranking and what they should be doing to improve those rankings. Okay, so I'm going to start off with, I'm not going to go straight to the strategy yet, because I need to point something out. So in terms of technical SEO, which is really important, I saw an issue immediately, right? I saw this issue when I was looking at the keywords that they were ranking for. So Amica cream, that's a huge keyword, 18,000 volume. They rank number 13 for it. But if you look at the page that they're ranking for it, it's a tag page. And this is like a big red flag, because that means that all their tag pages are being indexed, right? It's actually a good thing. I mean, like, somewhat a good thing that they can rank for Amica cream with a tag page. That means that their brand is super strong. They have a really strong backlink profile that they can actually rank for a really competitive keyword, Amica cream, with a tag page. But the fact that the tag pages are indexed in the first place is a huge red flag, because that means that they have tons of pages, tag pages, which are basically pages with no SEO value, being indexed, meaning they're asking the search engine to crawl all this content that basically don't provide any SEO value. You're just wasting the resources of the search engine. So the first thing I would do is remove all these pages from the index, so that the search engine is only crawling pages with a SEO value, pages that actually have a target keyword, pages that actually have a chance of ranking well, instead of, again, wasting the search engine's resources crawling all these tag pages, which are either thin content usually, or they're duplicates of your product pages most of the time. So that's the first thing I would do, right? Before even getting to the strategy that I suggest. Okay. So now moving on to the actual strategy that I think will add millions in revenue for Boiron. So when I look at the keywords that they're ranking for, right, it's a lot of product pages, which is a good thing, right? That means that they have a lot of product pages that are low-hanging fruit, which makes sense, because these are their products. Again, they should be ranking for these product pages, not Amazon, not Walgreens, not CVS, etc. And these product pages, if they get them into the top three, will lead to a significant growth in revenue, right? And example, like the one that I want, like I'm gonna use one product page as an example. Okay, Camellia teething drops. Okay, so this is the product page. If you look at the product page itself, it actually looks like a decent product page, right? Like we have the product description here. The key SEO elements are optimized for SEO. H1, URL, and title tag all have the target keyword in it, which is Camellia teething drops, right? They have the product description, they have features and benefits, they have more content below, the description, they have the product reviews. So this is all good SEO. This is a good product page for SEO, right? They even have more images here from customers. One thing that I would change is the drug facts. I would not leave an image here. It's more difficult for search engines to crawl images. It makes sense, right? So I would actually just grab the drug facts and put them here, but in text version. That's one improvement I would make to the product page. But other than that, everything looks pretty good, right? So I don't think the issue is really on the product page. Yes, some improvements can be made with conversion rate. Again, like the drug facts can be turned into text. But I think overall, this product page will do and can do. I think the issue mainly is on two things, right? The first thing is the blog content related to the product page, right? So we go to related articles, and then we're going to have a bunch of related articles that are ideally, related to the product, right? So navigating teething journey with ease, right? Because again, when it comes to ranking the shopping pages, blog posts actually matter a lot, because you kind of want to show the search engine that you're the authority or expert in the industry. And to do that, you need to answer all the questions users have about your products. And users are going to have questions about this Camellia teething. What is that? Camellia teething drops, right? You want to answer them on the product page itself, right? You probably want to add like an FAQ section on this product page, and you want to answer all the other teething related questions that customers or users might have, right? Let me see if I have that pulled up. Yeah, okay, teething. Like, okay, when do babies start teething? Teething symptoms, teething rash, all these teething related questions you want to answer on blog posts, and you want to internally link those blog posts to your product page. That's how you establish your brand as the expert in that product category with content, right? Because then users don't have to go to another brand to get their questions answered. Like Boyron basically answers all questions about teething. And that's how you establish your brand as the expert on, let's say in this case, teething. The issue here is that when I look at the blog post, it's like there's no clear target keyword, which means that okay, maybe this brand, this blog post doesn't really have much SEO value, right? And if I look at the content itself, it's like this is super thin content, navigating the teething journey with ease. Like there's definitely more you can do in terms of the content itself and imagery on the content. And there's no reason you can't do that these days because of AI. AI makes doing that so easy. Not just the actual text content, but even coming up with graphics these days, you can use ChatGPT. And if you compare, like, okay, Boyron is a health website. If you compare the content here on with other health websites, like, yeah, this is going to be considered super thin content. Like, and not only that, but like, again, there's no target keyword, like maybe this makes sense on social, but like in terms of SEO, like this basically has no SEO value. You want to answer questions that people are typing down on Google. When do babies start teething? What teething symptoms? Teething fever, right? Here you go. Camellia teething drops are here. Like it's a huge keyword that you should be ranking for. This is your brand, right? Like, yeah, so much of these teething chart. Again, those are all questions. They're essentially questions that users have about teething that you should be answering to establish yourself as the expert on that product or product category. And if you can implement this. Again, if you want to learn more about this internal linking strategy for e-commerce brands, I have a dedicated YouTube video for that. But the idea essentially is, if you want to rank for that product page, and that's a key thing here, because like the blog posts are good. Like if you rank for the blog posts, sure, that's additional traffic, that's additional revenue. But if you want to drive significant revenue, the key is to rank for the shopping pages. We've seen this time and time again. Shopping pages, if you rank for them, will probably attribute to 80%, if not 90% of the revenue growth from SEO. Ranking blog posts won't really drive much conversions, but they're still important because they support the rankings of your shopping pages. Like in this case, this would be the product page. It would be the Camellia teething drops. And then you have a bunch of teething related blog posts around it. And they have to be good blog posts. They can't be just thin blog posts like this. Like, I don't know, this looks like it's just 500 words. I opened another blog post to see if this is the case for all blog posts. But again, like, what's the target keyword here? You want to answer user questions. Like, if this isn't something that people are typing or searching for on Google, like, it doesn't really have any SEO value. And you can argue that even on socials, like, the way people search kind of give you an idea of what questions they're asking and should guide your content strategy, right? Here, like, it's not clear what the target keyword is. And again, the content is still a little thin when you compare it to other health content on the internet. This is really good, though, that a doctor did write this, and then you have a link to her website. Ideally, you add a link to her LinkedIn as well. I think that helps a lot, especially on health websites. But yeah, again, the content is just not there, right? Like, and when it comes to health products, you kind of want to have really high quality blog content and internally link that blog content to the product page, because again, all that link juice goes and flows to that product page. Okay. And that brings me to the next part of the strategy. Like, yes, it's good to publish quality blog content and internally link them to the shopping page. But one thing that needs to be done also is link building, and a very particular way to build the links. Because, like, okay, in 2025, content, again, as I mentioned, there's no reason to have bad content these days, or low quality content, because with AI, it's super easy to come up with quality content with graphics, etc. So everyone's content should be high quality, and the search engine knows this, so it's relying more on backlinks to determine expertise and authority. Yes, you need expert and authority content, but once you have that, it comes down to backlinks, right? And when you look at Boiron's backlinks, like, they have a ton of backlinks. Don't get me wrong, and they're also really good quality backlinks, and that's why they're ranking really well for some of their keywords. But the issue here is, like, okay, I already did the filters, do follow backlinks, DR20, traffic over 1,000, new, just built last month. That's 907 backlinks. That's a ton of backlinks. But here's the issue. A lot of these backlinks are pointing straight to the product pages. You might think that's a good thing because, like, okay, yeah, you mentioned that. I mentioned that you want to rank the product pages. The product pages are what's going to drive revenue growth, But here's a tricky thing about backlinks to product pages. Because of the fact that people can create affiliate programs and all your affiliates will probably be linking to your product pages, Google actually devalues backlinks straight to product pages. And we've seen this time and time again where, okay, we build backlinks to product pages, some product category pages, and the rankings are actually stuck. And what actually got these rankings to move and unstuck was building backlinks to these blog posts. That's why it's so key to have these quality blog posts, because when building backlinks straight to product or shopping pages, product category pages stops working, like, if it's stuck, what actually gets it unstuck is building backlinks to the blog posts and making sure that those blog posts are internally linked to your shopping pages, right? In this case, it would be the product page. That's what has worked really well for us. Because again, we noticed that because of, I think, my best guess is that because of affiliate programs, a lot of backlinks to these product pages are being devalued. So you kind of want to build backlinks to your blog posts and internally link them to your shopping pages. And that's key here, because that's the key part of the strategy. Because not only will your blog posts start ranking better because now they have backlinks, but your shopping pages will get that link juice as well through internal linking. You want to have your internal links on point. Quick explanation over this graph. Your product page should be in the middle, like that would be this, and then you want your supporting blog content around it, all internally linking to it, and then you can have a few links outside that shopping page to like high search volume blog posts that are, will make an impact as well. But that's the general idea. If you want to learn more about how this works, again, there's a dedicated video on this internal linking strategy for e-commerce brands. But yeah, I think that's the strategy that we would implement. Again, to repeat, number one, making a few improvements to the product pages, the content on the product pages, adding an FAQ section, making this drug facts not an image anymore. And there are some CRO improvements that can be made to this page, definitely. Publishing, supporting blog content, better supporting blog content, higher quality, not so thin, not so short like this, adding more imagery, internally linking well, and last but not least, building backlinks, quality backlinks to the blog content, and just making that link juice flow to the product pages. And if they do this, I have no doubt that they would easily rank for all these keywords, ranking between 4 to 20. That's 2,000, over 2,000 keywords, super high search volume. That's why I have no doubt that they'll add millions in revenue. And a lot of these are products that they own, so they should definitely be ranking for them. All they need to do is establish their brand as the expert or authority in the homeopathic medicines industry. They clearly are the expert or authority in that industry. Outside of SEO, they made $500 million in revenue last year. But when it comes to SEO, they're being outranked by Amazon, CVS, Walgreens, etc., meaning the search engine doesn't think that they are the expert or authority on these products. And the strategy I outlined should show the search engine that this brand is the expert or authority on homeopathic medicines. That's it for now. I hope this video was helpful. I hope you learned a thing or two. And if you know someone from Boiron and if they need help with any SEO, please let them know and send them this video. They're leaving millions of dollars on the table just with weak SEO, and we can help them with this. And if you want to learn more about SEO, if you want to do SEO for your brand, join our Shopify SEO Mastermind. I'll leave a link in the description. And yeah, that's it for now. I hope you found this helpful. If you like this video, please leave a like. And if you want more videos like this, please subscribe to the channel. Thanks for listening. Cheers.